Hello, Wisconsin DECA and FFA viewers. Welcome to the first installment of the WIareCTSO Collaboration Series, video centered on Wisconsin CTSOs and student advocacy. Before we dive in, let's meet our special guest.
Hi everyone, my name is Amalia Draxler. I'm currently serving as the Wisconsin State FFA President. Just a little bit about me. I come from the Glenwood City FFA chapter up in Northwest Wisconsin. In Glenwood City, I grew up on my family's dairy farm where we milk 700 cows, and so that's how I got started in agriculture. And ever since then, I've been super passionate about ag and CTSOs and CTE. And so that's what led me to pursue my degree at UW-Madison, where I'm currently a junior and I'm studying agricultural and applied economics and life sciences communication, and my forever journey in FFA.
So glad to have you on the series, Amalia. I'm excited to learn more about Wisconsin FFA's efforts in practicing advocacy. Without further ado, let's begin. Now, let's talk about your role as an advocate. How has being a state officer influenced you to be a better advocate for CTSOs?
Being a state officer has influenced me to be a better advocate for CTSOs by really allowing me to find my voice and find my confidence. Before I was a state officer, I would have been brave enough to share a story about why CTSOs are important to me or to correct some miscommunications that may be happening in the world of CTSO. And now I really believe that it's really important to be bold enough to share your story wherever you go. And so, whether we're meeting people on the street and they ask, "What's that interesting apparel that you have on?" and I get the chance to tell them all about FFA and the wonderful things it brings, or we're at things like the state fair and we get to share a little bit about our CTSO, or we're just hanging out with our friends and they ask a little bit more. I think it's really important to continue to share those messages. And additionally, being a state officer has really allowed me to find my passions in career and technical education. Before, when I was in high school, I was a little bit lost in what I wanted to do with my future career, as are many high schoolers. And so getting involved in FFA allowed me to find that agriculture was truly my passion, and getting involved in FFA state office specifically allowed me to find that I am really passionate about communications and public speaking and the way that rural economics impacts our entire world. And that allowed me to find that I want to study those things in college. And so from there on, I decided that I want to dedicate the rest of my career path advocating for these things that are important to me. And without being a state officer, I never would have had that experience.
That's awesome to hear. Now, let's explore FFA specific advocacy. Amalia, what are some ways that Wisconsin FFA advocates?
Our big advocacy efforts throughout the year is something called Wisconsin Day on the Hill. And so this is where Wisconsin FFA members meet at our state's capital in Madison, and we get the opportunity to go over what a visit looks like with our legislative officials in our state, and then we get a chance to actually go out and do it. And so our FFA members they set up meetings with our congressmen, and they speak all about things that are important to them. And so, hang on, I got to think about this one. So last year we had a bill that was put into the governor's budget, and we asked for some funding for career and technical student organization. So our FFA members were able to go into action, and they were able to advocate for what that means to the congressmen and their state representatives and share stories about how specifically FFA has impacted their life and how funding for CTSOs could impact our organization going forward. And so the FFA Day on the Hill is really effective and really important at the state level, but we also have national advocacy efforts as well. Something that we as state officers get to take part in is something called State Officer Summit. There we get to go to our nation's capital and get ready for what it means to be national delegates at National FFA Convention in October. And part of that is going and speaking to our legislators up on Capitol Hill. And we get a chance to advocate for things that are very important to us in the government. And on a local level, with our younger chapter members, not just our state officers, we get a chance again to go to our nation's capital for something called the Washington Leadership Conference, or WLC for short. And this is a chance for FFA members across the country to gather in one place, and we put together a specific advocacy model for the year going forward, and we put together an action plan. And so in this, we get to put in an event that or something that we're passionate about that impacts our community. We put together the specific steps, things that are measurable and specific for us to go out and do, and ways that we can put that into action. And thereon, we get a chance yet again to meet with our legislative representatives and share what's important to us in order to continue to spark this advocacy effort. And many students who say that they go to WLC, they'll return and say that it's a life-changing experience. I, for one, got to go to WLC when I was in high school, and it was so great to be able to meet people from across the country and again, learn what I'm really passionate about and share that with other people.
Great initiatives. Lastly, what's one thing Wisconsin DECA chapters could learn from Wisconsin FFA about advocacy?
The one thing that we really sport in FFA is to share your story. We know that facts and statistics are really powerful and they go a long way when speaking to representatives, but nothing goes as far as your personal experiences and what you've been through. And so it's really important to dig deep and think, why is this CTSO important to me? Why is FFA important to me? Why is DECA important to me? And when we find that answer, we're able to share a deep and inspiring and meaningful message that can tug at people's heartstrings and really get them to see the perspective of why career and technical student organizations are important. And in FFA specifically, again, we talk about what is our why. Why are we in FFA? Why do we support FFA? And when we get to have a deeper look at that, again, we understand on a deeper level how we can impact others. The FFA motto is learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, and living to serve. And this is a really impactful thing and shows why that Wisconsin FFA does what we do. We like to impact other people and we like to continue to shape our future. FFA's vision statement is to grow the next generation of leaders who will change the world. And so through these things like living to serve, learning to do, and growing the next generation of leaders who change the world, we can see that this impact and advocacy doesn't only impact ourselves. Everything that we do is on a greater level and is on a greater purpose. We might be planting the seeds of a tree that we'll never see fully grown. And that means that, well, we're doing advocacy efforts today, we're advocating today, we're sharing why things are important today and why they need support. But that might pave the way for leaders 10 years down the road so that they can continue to have a place in career and technical student organization. So I just encourage every member, whether what CTSO they're in, to continue to find their place, speak their why, and know that what you're doing impacts so many people down the line.
This was great. Amalia, thank you for coming today and sharing incredible insights and experiences that show the power advocacy has on making a difference to career and technical student organizations. To everyone watching, thank you for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you for the next episode.